All right, guys, we are live. Hello,
Hi, everyone. Gosh, this is the first what we're
2026.
doing of the new year, which is exciting. So lots of wonderful things to come this year. We have a lot to look forward to and a lot to be thankful
Oh,
for
no
as well
doubt.
for the past.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So if you don't already, make sure you like and subscribe, which I do hope all of you are. But it really helps us and it helps us help you, bring you all this content, and you can share it, which obviously helps others. Leave us comments and questions for what we're talking about today.
Yeah,
Please make sure you write them in the comment section
sure.
or question section, and we will address them. Hopefully, we'll get
Yeah,
to
as we
them.
go. Sure.
Yeah. Okay, so why does gut health come first? If your gut isn't healthy, nothing else in the body can fully heal. And that's very, very true. And I do feel like the gut is often bypassed, kind of looked over, unless there are significant gut symptoms, right?
Yeah,
We
often.
kind of ignore it.
Yeah, you ignore it.
But it is so crucial for overall health and wellness. And what we are addressing today, so I meant to look at the date, shoot. I meant to look at the date when we had the original call. It was probably 3 or 4, maybe 5 times ago, where we talked about the 4 pillars of Healthspan. And I told you that we were going to then address each four as we carry on. We already did the first one. We talked about inflammation and immunity. And today we're talking about gut health equaling health span, detox, digestion, and the microbiome connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a lot, but we're going to always, as always, we try to keep it condensed. We try to cover a lot in 20, max 30 minutes, because we know your time is very precious and not all of us have a lot of time to sit around and watch or listen to things. I want you to think about the gut first. So when people are struggling with fatigue, inflammation, hormone issues, autoimmunity, skin problems, brain fog, I mean, I'm saying it all, stubborn weight, we constantly are chasing the symptom, right? We're trying to, oh, I need to lose weight. You're chasing the symptom, or my skin is breaking out. You're just trying to fix the skin. But when you start to look at a root cause approach, these often all tie back to poor gut health. Ooh, let me scoot over. That I was falling. They often go back to poor gut health. So,
So,
yeah, I know it's hard. So with our streaming platform, if you're on Instagram, you kind of see like half of each of our faces. It's hard to get close enough to fit in that screen, but that's why if you've noticed over the past several trainings, we've gotten closer. So you can eat the cleanest diet. You can honestly take the best supplements. But if your digestion and absorption isn't functioning properly, your detox is impaired, your body's not going to respond to what you're doing. It's not going to respond to the healthy food. It's not going to respond to the supplements. So we have to make sure things are well and functioning here so everything else can function as it should, right?
yes.
Okay, I feel like I just said a
Yes.
lot.
Yes. Yes.
So I want you to think about a triangle, and we're kind of going to talk about the relationship through all of this of the gut, the detox, and the microbiome triangle. And the reason they're a triangle is because they all work together. They all rely on the other one to work. And the triangle, the arms go both ways. Again, it's not, gut health is not one thing, right? It's a system, and the systems must work together, which goes for everything in life. I do feel like. Okay, digestion, and we'll get to what supplements we recommend. Obviously, we have some here. But I still want to just kind of highlight more the connection before we dig in, and then you can help with me with all the supplements tied in. So digestion is where everything begins. Food, we eat it, it needs to be properly broken down. But if it's not properly broken down, then the nutrients of this healthy, clean plate of food that we're eating cannot be fully absorbed at the cellular level, which is the reason why we're eating these super healthy foods in the first place, right? Is to
Mm-hmm.
fuel our
Mm-hmm.
body at a cellular level. But then other things, I know you're going to probably highlight this one the most, but in other things that can affect absorption or digestion, all of it is stress, big one, medications,
Yeah.
which is a major one that I'll let you touch on in a second. Poor chewing, low stomach acid, which there is a test for it. A lot of people don't know that they have it. And also rushed meals, which I am very guilty of that. It's hard. But I mean, talk about medication a little bit. How much that influences our digestion and
It's
absorption.
crazy because we started the call and you're like, yeah, well, you don't think too much about the gut. You don't think about it too much. But yet people very, very, very consciously will take a medication or something to soothe their acid reflux or soothe whatever digestive ailment that they might have at the moment, right? Like even friends we were just with for New Year's Eve were popping Tums. Like it was
Oh, yeah, I saw
crazy. Like
that.
Tums, Tums, Tums. I'm like,
It was like a staple on the
it was
counter.
really, really weird. And then somebody else in the room was like, oh, I can't go anywhere without those. And you're like, well, really, what?
Yeah.
And so it's unbelievable because what's happening even with the Tums world is you're neutralizing, you're raising the pH of the stomach. And what happens then? So lots of things depend on the stomach environment. I mean, by design, that environment should have a very acidic pH, so roughly around 2. But like when you take Tums and you try to neutralize it and you raise the pH, you can't absorb nutrients as well. You're certainly affecting the microbiome, like all the good bacteria in there. But like, and that's just a simple Tums, right? Like there's other things that are kind of strange. People with acid reflux will take the H2RAs, the histamine 2 receptor blockers. Those are like your Zantacs, and they're probably not as harmful as the PPIs, but they're still blocking that receptor. And so
Can I interrupt too? And
yeah.
also with those too, a lot of people take those assuming they have like high stomach acid, but typically those are the ones that have low stomach acid.
Yeah. I mean, I think it goes. I don't know.
Well, no, you have the acid reflux and you're thinking you have this high stomach acid, but it's not necessarily that. It's like a low stomach acid, which just adds to the fire. So you've got low stomach acid, you're taking a medication, and obviously you're all becoming.
Yeah, and then you got the class of PPIs, which is like your Prilosec, your Nexium, some other ones in there, Protonic, so they're pantoprazole, omeprazole, esomeprazole. I mean, these are the drugs that really shut off the proton pump, so the hydrogen ion, so it's not pumping out acid, so directly inhibiting acid production. So immediately, obviously, it's going to disrupt and change the pH. And man, super popular drugs, super commonly prescribed.
Yes.
And a lot of people take them. And there's a lot of drug nutrient deficiencies due to the use of this class of medication.
Right.
And so we can probably dive into that later. You can email me if you're on any one of these drugs. I can tell you what those nutrients are. But, this is crazy. The medication is really affecting the gut lining, the gut microbiome, the function and the action of the gut lining and many of the things that it does, whether it's serotonin or some neurotransmitter production and storage. So many things happen.
So if you're taking any of those, guys, keep your ears open. You
Ears,
really
yeah.
need to pay attention. Because again, when digestion is impaired, the body becomes functionally nutrient deficient. So you
Right.
could be taking all of the wonderful supplements that we have.
Right.
But if it's not working right, if you're not absorbing it right, like it's not gonna, again, you're still gonna be
Sure.
nutrient deficient. So everybody has to pay attention to their gut. And again, it's often overlooked unless you are having GI symptoms or
Yeah.
any of those symptoms. And so if you're not having them, you tend to think like you're doing great, but not necessarily, right? So you've got to, so I'm a big proponent on testing, but you don't always have to test it. It's very expensive, but
Very
again, it's just
expensive.
taking care of your gut
Yeah.
with stuff we're going to talk about. So the gut microbiome, you've heard us talk about this a lot. It consists of trillions of different bacteria that help regulate our immunity, our inflammation, hormones, metabolism, all this stuff goes on. Even mood. That's the whole
Sure. Mood's a big one.
gut-brain connection.
Yeah.
So are the chronic stress, which a lot of us, do have because it's very hard to work on, antibiotics. There's still, even with the awareness out there, there's still an overuse of antibiotics.
Big time.
I mean, I cringe
Big time.
when I hear, and I have friends that do this with themselves and their kids. I've heard my brother say this. They'll just take an antibiotic when they have a cold or something, not even knowing what's going on, not even testing, I have this antibiotic. I'm like, kills me because I just know what it's doing to your gut. Ultra processed food, unfortunately, especially, in America, it's a very big problem. Chronic use of alcohol will disrupt the gut, environmental toxins, which are really unavoidable, even when we try our hardest.
Yeah.
So all of these things disrupt the gut microbiome. So it's very important to have the proper microbes in there, keeping everything working properly. And then the detoxification pathway. So we're just going to finish with that before we go into the supplements. So detox is not a cleanse. Okay. I feel like so many people, especially because we have our detox, like, how long should I detox for? And when you say that, I know you're thinking like, how long should I be cleansing my body for? A detox is not a cleanse. It is a daily biological process. Every single day, our body is detoxing.
Yeah, constantly.
What we are doing with this is supporting our detox process to make sure they're functioning properly. So the liver processes toxins, hormones, metabolic waste. The gut has to eliminate them, right? So, and if gut mobility is slow, the toxins don't get eliminated, then they recirculate, and this is how we become toxic. So I just want you to think about that. When cleanses is very, very different. We're supporting our detox. So if one part of our triangle, going back to our triangle, if one part is off, the entire system starts to break down. So it's very important to be addressing those. So now we're really going to talk about the supplements that we recommend that tie into supporting this triangle, right? And before we go into these specific ones, I do want to say always is a factor for the foundational.
The foundationals.
Factor for multivitamin, either men's or women's, ultra magnesium complex, and vitamin D3K2. So this is a non-negotiable for every single person, right? So when I go into all this stuff, this must be in place first and foremost. Okay. So let's start with the probiotic gut support, because I mean, a lot of, we just left off with the microbiome. This says it all. You have to be having a diverse gut microbiome.
Yeah, of course.
And there are 10 strains.
6,
10 strains, right? 6 billion each. So 60 billion.
Correct.
Colony forming units. CFUs, that's what CFU stands for. So super important to make sure we have a happy gut in there. And when we have an overabundance of one microbe and an underabundance of one, this is when we get a gut dysbiosis. So what you've pulled in here is the most, I mean, I don't know how.
Oh yeah, 100%. Absolutely.
10.
Yeah. Look, I mean, you have to go on the evidence. You have to go on what's been studied. You have to go on what stability shows you. I don't want to put a strain of a bacteria in there that is immediately inactivated or just degrades so rapidly that it's of no benefit. So yeah, you have to make sure, and these, by the way, these cultures are cultured for each one of our batches, which is really, really cool. But you have to feed them too. You got to be able to give things bacteria. That's why there's artichoke and there's why there's Jerusalem in there, because the prebiotics. Yeah, you have to be able to give them something to feed on, which is also another reason why the fiber is so important.
Yeah.
But and then in addition, you got the enzyme complex, and then you have things like Microbiome, and these are just beneficial compounds for gut. And there's a lot of evidence. The thing is, you're not really going to. There's certain trials, right? There's certain things where it's been studied. They're not going to be as rigorous as some of your drug trials, obviously. Right. But simply put, there's a lot of evidence because it's been used for so long. So long. And supplements as a part of a diet. So there is plenty out there, and there's more and more money being put in and invested into the studying of these dietary supplement ingredients. So there's a lot of evidence. There truly is. The Natural Medicines database is a great resource. I have Pharmacist Letter, has a natural thing to it. So there's a lot of ways for me to reference the outcome, whatever research has been published.
Right.
Yeah,
so taking a probiotic reintroduces these diverse strains. So you're constantly having a balance of them. And I lost my train of thought when I was there. I had something I wanted to say. But just think, our modern diet, our modern world, even like lack of sleep. I mean, this is going to disrupt our gut, the bacteria in our gut. I was going to say they're forever. They change your gut.
Changes a lot,
so
of course.
Quickly.
Oh, it's very dynamic.
Consistency is key. Okay, that is the goal. So I'll have somebody say, "Oh, I take probiotic 3 times a week," but you're in between those 3 times, your gut can change significantly in what microbes are in there. So its consistency is very, very important.
Of course.
So remember too, like you said, probiotics don't work in isolation, right? They require proper digestion and adequate fiber.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
To thrive. So leading into our organic fiber.
Yeah, great,
which I love.
unbelievable fiber.
Super, super, super fan.
And one of the things I was concerned when we first came out with this was that it would be a little bit difficult for people at first.
On like gut
Yeah, because of
digestion.
the amount of fiber that we have
Right,
in there.
right. But
Both, yeah, I
I
mean,
have
no, I
not
don't get
had
any
that.
complaints. I
No.
had personally haven't experienced it.
No,
You know,
my mom had a little bit. I had to back her down and start with like a quarter of a scoop, for a little bit, then a half a scoop. But when I say, I mean,
yeah,
I'll sometimes
exactly.
refer to my gut as a princess gut. Like that's like a queen gut over there. It just runs my family. So I'm very passionate about gut health because it actually, I'm affected by it.
Yeah,
I have to take care of my gut. It's my biggest focus.
sure.
So organic fiber is commonly the missing piece in most people's health. Whether it's gut health, whether it's weight loss. Again, remember we talked about like these are all connected. So the fiber feeds the beneficial bacteria,
Yep,
also supports regular bowel movement,
yep.
which also helps detox, what with the toxins that we've
Yeah,
collected. You got to think about it all.
of course.
Helps stabilize blood sugar.
As it feeds the good bacteria too, it suppresses a lot of the bad bacteria, the pathogenic bacteria.
Yes.
There's a lot of opportunistic pathogens. So
Yes.
bugs that are waiting and looking for the right environment to proliferate.
100%.
So when that happens, that's when you get an overgrowth. That's when you get an outbreak or some type of an type of bacterial infection, and it can wreak havoc.
Right. And also when I say it helps like excrete toxins, it also helps excrete excess hormones. So you
Does
start to think about like if
metabolites?
we have an excess of certain hormones that we shouldn't have. I mean, part of your gut working properly and detoxing properly and having regular bowel movements is helping
Yeah,
rid these
excretion.
excess
Yeah,
hormones. So again, how it is all connected. And this is super easy to take. I mean, I just pop it in my
yeah,
protein
yeah.
smoothie with all of our
Sure.
other powders because
Yeah,
it's very, very, very
yeah.
easy to do that. Okay, so remember, this is not like an optional. This is part of like,
I agree.
I can't
Yeah.
keep saying foundation up because that we take it all into there.
Right,
But
right, right.
okay, so then talking about next into our liver support, which is super awesome. It also has NAC in it,
Mm-hmm.
N-acetylcysteine, which
Mm-hmm.
is the precursor to your body, helping your body make its own glutathione.
Right.
So I know it's very common. Somebody's asking me about glutathione. Take your liver support. So it supports the detox pathways. Like we said, the liver does
Mm-hmm.
all that work, and it's responsible for processing the hormones we talked about, medications,
Yeah, oh yeah.
alcohol, environmental toxins. I mean, there's a lot of burden on our liver, a lot of burden. So detoxing, it's not something you do once. It's something the body does every single day. And your liver does all of that work. So you got to support it and then support it. Like we're all about supporting our
Natural.
systems,
Yeah, exactly.
right? Because they're all here. But the problem is they stop to work properly and they get sluggish and all this stuff because of our lifestyle.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else with liver support?
No, I mean, just the amount of drugs that we have to take and metabolize, and the body's going through, and it needs to be supported.
Yes.
Yep.
I mean, if you look and read it, there's so many great liver support ingredients in here. I mean, ALA, milk thistle. I mean, I feel like also ALA, I get that question. Do we have that often? It's all in here. We try to get it all in. Okay, leading to our detox supplement, the chlorophyll and zeolite detox. Again, not a cleanse, a daily, I can't stress it enough, a daily gentle detox. Because remember, we are detoxing, our body is detoxing all the time. But again, lifestyle, all that sluggish. So that it doesn't work, detox properly. And not everybody tolerates like an aggressive detox.
Yeah. Yep.
And aggressive detox
true.
also strip your body of nutrients. Now, there's a time and a place for it. There is a time and a place for it if a body needs it. But you have to worry about becoming depleted in vitamins and minerals, because again, it's binding to everything.
Exactly.
It's hard.
That's right.
So this is gentle, daily, supports the body, it binds and helps eliminate the toxins without overwhelming the system, right? So if you think about zeolite, it binds, and the chlorophyll supports the cellular cleansing and gut integrity. So they work together very synergistically.
Sure do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's also, again, like a detox that supports the body without triggering stress or inflammation. Like I said, there is a time and a place if your body is going through something that it needs a hard detox, but that's not for every case. And then last thing, our guy over here, are collagen peptides. Might be thinking collagen,
Yeah.
what? That's for hair, skin, nails. But we'll say this over and over again, the gut lining.
It Yes, it's a lot of it's in the gut lining.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would probably have that real high up on the list there.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely. So if you think about the gut lining, it's like one cell layer thick, which
yeah.
makes it highly vulnerable to stress, inflammation, medications, and toxins. So the term gets thrown around a lot, leaky gut. Really not like a medical. What happened here?
I'll take a look.
I'm having trouble streaming to Facebook. Well, what was I saying? Oh, leaky gut. So it's not really like it's not a medical term, but it is thrown around there because what it means is there's tiny little gaps in the lining of your gut, this one cell layer thick gut. So foods get leaked out. It causes inflammation. It causes food sensitivities and intolerances. You might think like all of a sudden you feel like you can't eat anything. It's because of your poor gut lining, and we should be able to enjoy all these healthy foods. And unfortunately, when you have a leaky gut, it doesn't really happen. So very, very important for us. Liver collagen peptides for all of its functions.
Oh,
but
yeah.
in this one, we're highlighting the gut lining. So, all right. Foundational support. We talked about that. I just want to make sure I'm covering everything. Remember, no pillar works in isolation. We've got all this stuff, but we have to have that foundational support. And then lifestyle, guys. Pay attention to your lifestyle. I'm always
Yes.
going to pull that in. Some supplements support the process, but the lifestyle determines the outcome. So
Oh,
that
I like that. Yeah, for sure.
eat whole, real foods, chew properly,
Mm-hmm.
manage your stress,
Mm-hmm.
get good sleep. We have supplements that help all of these. Daily movement. Please move your body every day.
Yeah.
Limit alcohol in ultra processed foods. So just, make sure you take care of yourself. Check all those boxes. Every pillar in this in our Healthspan topic matters. But this is obviously a very important one. And remember, gut health is not a trend. We see so many health and wellness trends, and which is fine.
Sure you do.
It's also forever evolving science and stuff like that.
Right.
But gut health is not a trend. It's the foundation of Healthspan, immunity, energy, hormone balance,
Yep.
longevity.
Agreed. Well said.
So when you
Yep.
restore the gut, you don't just feel better.
Yeah, you are better.
Yeah, the body remembers how to heal,
No
and
doubt.
you are much better off. So
100%. Good job. It's awesome.
But again, I have a sensitive gut. I got to take care of it. One thing we didn't mention is in the probiotics there also are digestive enzymes. So they're very important in helping the body break down and digest the food.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if I was trying to briefly look over there as if
We
coming
are not referring to this as a weight loss thing, but certainly when you get your gut balance in check, you'll notice changes, and especially if you're eating the whole foods and you're moving your body. There's look, how many things would you say you have to do all at the same time to make sure the gut's as close to perfect as possible? I mean, a lot.
Yeah, you gotta do it all.
You gotta do it all.
Yeah,
It's
you
a
have to
lot.
pay attention to
I
every
totally relate to you.
part of it. But again, when everything is working in sync and how it should, the weight comes off naturally,
Right.
right? So, like I said at the very beginning, we constantly try to treat these symptoms as weight gain is a symptom, where it's a cause of something. Stop chasing the weight. Let's take steps back and work on all our bodily processes. And I promise you, the weight will naturally start to fall off, and you will feel better and less inflamed and all this stuff. It's a wonderful cycle, and everything starts to work together.
Yeah.
Yay. Any questions?
No. The last thing I'd say is that I'm not suggesting you just stop taking any medication you're taking, but certainly what you're not doing by taking medication is you're not identifying the root cause. So we need to figure out, how do we help people kind of taper off of these PPIs and H2RAs and stop taking Tums all the time. And, we can figure out other ways. There's lifestyle measures that are highly effective, but it does require commitment. But the meds are not the right path in this, for those reasons. I'm talking about now, if you're treating an ulcer or something, that's not what I'm saying. I'm strictly referring to, say, acid reflux. I'm not talking about like Barrett's esophagitis or things like that, but basic functional, people that are taking the meds. I want to bring awareness to that, because I think that's a dangerous area.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, well, thank you guys. Any further questions, you guys always email me, and please leave us comments on this, but share this episode.
Yes.
So many people do really need to hear this. Like I said twice, I think it's often overlooked if you're not having those significant GI symptoms. So
sure.
This is for everybody, guys. But thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next time.
Bye.
All right, bye.